Hello everybody and welcome back to Minecraft. This is my project Delorean that I've been building for the last two episodes. We built the exterior shell first and then went on to the interior. Today we are going to do what everyone has been asking me for, and we are going to build the Back to the Future DeLorean. We are going to make this car into a time machine. Now to do this I'm starting off with a few different blocks. I've got a couple of different kinds of diorite, the polished diorite, the regular diorite, couple of slabs. I've got some black terracotta, white concrete, white terracotta, and I've got the black glazed terracotta as well. I figured that might come in handy with some of the details, for wires and things. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what that looks like. I will probably also end up using some gray concrete and light gray concrete as well. So let's get started at the back with the famous big exhaust vents. These exhaust vents, I'm actually going to start with black concrete. So at the bottom here, they start two down and one over from the red. So they're going to start about there. And they come straight up. Oops. They come straight up until they hit about there. And then they start coming in just a little bit. And they extend up, I think, just a little bit higher than the roof. So that's probably good. And after double checking my reference photo, that's definitely not right. So let's just clean that up. We're just going to pull it back 2 instead of 1. Okay, I played around with it a little bit, and I think that's looking better. I trimmed it off a little bit on the top. Got a little bit more shallow angle. I think that matches the movie car a little bit nicer. So let's fill it in a little bit. For width, I think they just come in just inside the edge of the tail light. So we're going to have to match this all the way across. If I can grab it, there it is. To right there. Maybe one more. Maybe one more. Okay, there's the general outline of our big exhaust vent. I'm just going to fill this in and then copy it over to the other side. Okay, so I finished up the louvers here. I made this one and then copied it over to the other side. And I just filled up the inside here with glowstone so that it would glow. And I also went through this part and I just cleared out the louvers in the back. I cleared out the rear quarter windows here, and I also cleared out the back window as well, because the movie car has no back glass. It is all completely filled with movie car stuff, with time travel stuff. There's all kinds of hoses and canisters and fancy technology looking things that I'm sure are just painted beer cans, but they look really cool when they're all done up in the movie car. So that's the next step. Now that we've got these in here, we got to put the actual time travel in the time machine. And as for my strategy while doing this, I don't really have one. I have a bunch of pictures saved of the car from a few different angles, and I'm basically just going to go in and create each element one by one, and hopefully it looks good. I will probably definitely be moving stuff around constantly as I'm doing this. But let's see how it goes. Holy cow, this thing is way tougher than I was expecting. There are so many little bits and pieces in the back of this car, and this is is taking a lot of fiddling. They got all these like little knobs and doodads. I don't even know what they are, but this thing is on the real car is like a cooler, and I don't know. I couldn't do that, so trapdoor is close enough. Just trying to get all these little hoses and fittings and little things like that has just been a lot of like switching back and forth between Minecraft and pictures and Minecraft and pictures. But I think this is going pretty well so far. We got the little reactor core here, and there's a bunch of fittings and stuff in the back, a bunch of hoses. Still, this part is pretty bare, so I'm still working on filling that in. I think I will probably make both sides of the car symmetrical, even though I think the movie car is not quite symmetrical. There's a couple of little differences here and there, but you know, this is getting pretty difficult. So I think in order to save a few hours of my life, once I get this side nailed in, I'm just going to copy it over to the other side, and we'll have to deal with that. Hopefully, the Back to the Future fans, super fans, don't come up and ruin my life or anything. But for the next bit here, as I've been doing this, I've been trying to figure out. There's like a big, I don't know what it is, a cable tray or something that like goes along the whole side of the car, comes up here, comes along the front, and I've been trying to figure out what to make it out of as I've been going along. So here I've been using a lot of terracotta. I got red terracotta, yellow terracotta. This is just gray concrete, black concrete, and I think over here, these guys, yes, these guys right here are the white terracotta. So I've been using a lot of that, but I figured out for these things on the side, which I'm just going to call cable trays, I think I am going to use the diorite, because if you string it together like this, it actually looks pretty neat. It's got kind of a, it stands out from the car. It's bright enough, but it's not like super overpowering. So I think I'm going to be using the diorite for that cable tray, and I think that's going to look really good once it starts, like once it gets all the way across the car. Um, yeah, I can't wait for this to be done because this is looking so cool already. All right, I'm gonna get back at her. Hey, check that out. It's starting to come together now. You know, I'm not always right, but when I'm right, I am right. I really like the use of this diorite. I think that was the perfect choice for that element of the car. Now, where I'm stuck at now is I've been trying to figure out what goes back here. I've been looking and looking and looking. Every single replica of this car that I've found has something different in this area. And even the movie cars between the movies change, you know, when they add Mr. Fusion and whatnot. So I think for this area, I'm just going to sort of make it up as I go along, because there really isn't a whole lot of pictures out there to go off of. So it's not easy to get this right. I'm just gonna have to kind of go with my gut and see what happens. So this happened. Yeah, I couldn't resist. Anyways, I got this done, and we've got a fully completed time machine in the back here. I probably won't really go through all this because it's just a bunch of junk, bunch of stairs, pipes and hoses and what have you. I just filled up the space with a bunch of crap. So really all we have left is to take our little cable tray thingamabobber there, and we're going to paste it on the front because we've done nothing with the front of this car so far. So there's not much on the front, just the light bar, a couple of wires and stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish that up. And there it is. That's the outside of the car completely done. We've got the little light bar cable tray thingamabobber up front. We got our wires that go all the way to the back. And of course the back is already done. So the next up is the interior. And we are going to do the all-important flux capacitor right in the middle, as well as all the little dashboard tweaks that are made for the movie car. And just like that, the interior is done. This build is complete. You can see here we've got our cables and everything that powers all the time machine stuff. I rebuilt the dashboard here, so we got our, you know, where we've been, where we are, where we're going. We got all the little bits and bobs up here, more wires over there. Of course, we have the flux capacitor in the back. That's the thing that makes us time travel. We got to have that. And I also built up the ceiling here. There's a whole bunch of buttons and stuff up here. Looking at the pictures for the movie car, they really did just slap buttons absolutely everywhere, just like this. The movie car might actually have more buttons than I put on here. It is ridiculous. So that is the completed build, and keen-eyed observers may notice a little something happening outside, and that's because you can't do a build like this and not have the car going 88 miles per hour. So I'll show you that real quick. Here's a little behind the scenes for those of you who've been wondering how I've been getting in and out of the car. That's my little window, and then I come through the wheel here. Boom. So here is the outside of the car, of course, with the fire and the sparks coming off the front of the car. We are time traveling right now, going 88 miles per hour, just like it was intended. I hope you've enjoyed this build video. This did take me a very long time. I think I have about 24 hours of total build time into this project. So if you liked the video, please give the video a like. Subscribe to the channel. I put out videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.